Imagine waking up in the dead of night, screaming in pain, your calf muscle so tight it feels like a knife twisting through your leg. For thousands of seniors, this isn't a nightmare. It's their nightly reality. Each cramp steals sleep, each stumble steals confidence, and every painful step whispers the same terrifying question: what if I can't walk tomorrow? The shocking truth is that these cramps are not simply old age. They are warning signs that your body is starving for key nutrients. Nutrients that can rebuild strength, calm restless muscles, and prevent devastating falls. In this video, we'll uncover the top 3 vitamins that could change your nights and your future. Let's start with the one that decides whether your legs feel heavy as stone or steady as steel. Vitamin number 3, vitamin B12. Do your legs ever feel so heavy that every step feels like you're dragging weights through sand? Many seniors tell me, "Doctor, it's like my legs don't listen to me anymore." And here's the shocking part. It's not always the muscles that are failing. Often, it's the nerves. And at the center of this silent breakdown is a single missing nutrient, vitamin B12. Let me tell you about Mr. Roberts, a 75-year-old man who came into my clinic. He thought his legs were simply too old. He walked slower, stumbled often, and sometimes felt tingling in his feet. His family worried he'd fall and break a hip. What we discovered wasn't just aging. It was a severe vitamin B12 deficiency, worsened by the fact that he had been on metformin for his diabetes for years. Metformin is a life-saving drug, but it quietly robs the body of B12 over time, leaving nerves starved and muscles disconnected. Here's why B12 is so vital. Your nerves are like electrical cables, carrying messages from your brain down to your legs. Without enough B12, the insulation around those cables begins to fray. The signals slow, misfire, or even stop. That's when you start to feel numbness, tingling, weakness, or the dreaded heavy legs that make walking across the room feel like climbing a mountain. It's no surprise that low B12 is directly linked to poor balance, unsteady walking, and yes, a higher risk of falls. Now, science backs this up. A large study in BMJ followed patients on metformin and found that after just 4 years, almost 1 in 5 developed significant B12 deficiency. And here's the kicker. Many of them developed nerve damage, neuropathy, that made their legs weak and unstable. Another clinical trial showed that when older adults with low B12 were given methylcobalamin supplements, their nerve conduction improved, their pain decreased, and their confidence in walking returned. Imagine the relief of going from fearing every step to standing tall and steady again. But why are seniors especially vulnerable? First, stomach acid naturally declines with age. Without enough acid, your body struggles to pull B12 out of food. Add medications like proton pump inhibitors for heartburn or metformin for diabetes, and your ability to absorb B12 drops even further. That means even if you eat well, fish, eggs, dairy, you might still be starving your nerves. So what can you do? The first step is awareness. If you've been feeling weak, tired, or unsteady, ask your doctor for a simple blood test. Don't dismiss heavy legs as just getting old. Next, boost your intake. Foods like salmon, tuna, eggs, and clams are excellent sources, but for many seniors, food isn't enough. That's where supplements come in. The form that works best is methylcobalamin, taken daily. It's safe, effective, and any excess is simply excreted in urine. In fact, many seniors benefit from high-dose supplements or even periodic injections to restore their levels. Now let's get practical. Imagine adding a small B12 tablet to your morning routine right next to your coffee. Within weeks, you might notice less numbness, more energy, and steadier steps. That terrifying sensation of your legs not working could start to fade. It's a small habit that can change the course of your independence. Here's a challenge for you tonight. Go check your medicine cabinet. Are you taking metformin for diabetes? Have you been on heartburn medications for years? If so, you could already be on the path to B12 deficiency without even knowing it. And remember, this isn't about waiting for disaster. It's about acting now, before a preventable fall steals your freedom. Mr. Roberts is proof of that. After 3 months on B12 supplements, his energy returned, the tingling in his feet eased, and he told me, "Doctor, I feel like I have my legs back." His story isn't rare. It can be yours, too. So don't let heavy legs fool you into thinking it's just age. More often than not, it's a signal, a warning that your nerves need fuel. And the fuel is vitamin B12. And speaking of fuel, nerves are only one side of the story. Muscles themselves also need their own regulator, something that decides whether they contract smoothly or lock into painful cramps at night. That brings us to the second vitamin on our list, one that works behind the scenes to keep your muscles relaxed, your nights peaceful, and your steps light. Let's dive into vitamin number 2, magnesium. Have you ever stretched your legs under the covers at night, only to be hit with a sudden cramp so sharp it makes you leap out of bed? One moment you're asleep, the next you're clutching your calf, praying for the pain to stop. For many seniors, this nightly battle becomes so common that they start to dread going to bed. But what if I told you that one quiet mineral, often overlooked, can decide whether your muscles stay calm or twist into agony? That mineral is magnesium. Magnesium is like the conductor of an orchestra. Every muscle contraction and every release depends on its signal. Without enough of it, the notes get jumbled. Your muscles spasm, twitch, or seize into those excruciating nighttime cramps. And it's not just about cramps. Low magnesium is linked to restless leg syndrome, a condition where your legs feel jittery, buzzing, and impossible to keep still at night. Imagine trying to sleep while your own legs refuse to rest. It's torture. Let me share the story of Mrs. Collins, a 72-year-old grandmother who came to me in tears. She said, "Doctor, I haven't slept through the night in years. Every time I close my eyes, either my legs cramp or they twitch. I'm exhausted." We checked her magnesium levels, and sure enough, they were low. After just 6 weeks of adding magnesium-rich foods and a supplement, she came back smiling. "I finally slept," she said. "I didn't think I'd ever say that again." Her relief was written all over her face. The science here is compelling. Cochrane reviews show that magnesium doesn't magically cure every cramp, especially idiopathic ones. But for restless leg syndrome, it can make a remarkable difference. In fact, a recent clinical trial found that seniors who took 250 milligrams of magnesium daily for 2 months experienced fewer spasms and better sleep quality compared to those who took a placebo. It's not a miracle cure, but for the right people it can be life-changing. So why are seniors so often deficient in magnesium? Part of the reason is diet. Many older adults don't eat enough nuts, seeds, leafy greens, or legumes, the foods richest in magnesium. But the bigger culprit is medication. Diuretics, blood pressure drugs, and stomach acid blockers quietly drain magnesium from the body. Add years of stress and poor absorption, and you have a recipe for chronic depletion. That's why so many people in their 60s and 70s unknowingly walk around on an empty tank. The fix begins on your plate. Foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, avocados, and black beans are magnesium powerhouses. Just a handful of pumpkin seeds gives you nearly half of your daily needs. But here's the catch. Food alone may not be enough, especially if your body struggles to absorb it. That's when supplements come in. And not all supplements are created equal. Magnesium oxide is cheap, but poorly absorbed and often causes digestive upset. The gentler, more effective forms are magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate, both better tolerated and more bioavailable. Now picture this. Instead of jolting awake with a cramp, you roll over peacefully, your muscles loose and quiet, your body finally at rest. That's the difference magnesium can make when your body has what it needs. And the change can happen faster than you think. Some of my patients notice improvement in just a few weeks. Here's a little challenge for you. Tonight, before bed, add one magnesium-rich food to your dinner plate. Maybe it's a spinach salad, a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, or a slice of avocado. Pay attention to how your legs feel over the next few nights. Sometimes it's the smallest shift that brings the biggest relief. But remember, magnesium is only one piece of the puzzle. It calms the muscles, yes, but what about the strength in your bones and the fast twitch fibers that keep you balanced when you trip on a rug or step off a curb? That protection doesn't come from magnesium. It comes from a vitamin so powerful, so overlooked, that without it your muscles weaken, your bones crumble, and your risk of falling skyrockets. This is the game changer. The vitamin that decides whether you stay independent or become dependent. And we're about to uncover it right now. Vitamin number 1, vitamin D. Calcium may get all the attention, but here's the shocking truth. Without vitamin D, calcium is almost useless. It can't reach your bones, it can't protect your muscles, and it can't keep you steady on your feet. And that's why so many seniors, even those faithfully drinking milk and taking calcium tablets, still end up with weak legs, brittle bones, and terrifying falls. The real master switch for strength and balance isn't calcium. It's vitamin D. Think about this for a moment. Every time you walk across the room, climb a stair, or step out of bed, your legs rely on a type of muscle fiber called fast twitch fibers. These are the fibers that react quickly when you lose balance, that catch you when you trip on a rug, that stop a small stumble from turning into a devastating fall. But as we age, these fibers shrink and weaken. And here's where vitamin D comes in. It doesn't just help with bones. It directly fuels those fast twitch fibers, keeping them alive, powerful, and responsive. Without vitamin D, your legs are like a car trying to run without spark plugs. Let me share the story of Mrs. Harris, an 80-year-old widow who came to me after a frightening fall in her kitchen. She broke her wrist but admitted what scared her most wasn't the fracture. It was the feeling that her legs simply couldn't catch her anymore. We tested her blood and found her vitamin D level shockingly low. After 3 months on a daily vitamin D supplement, she didn't just regain bone density. She walked more confidently, stood from a chair without wobbling, and told me, "Doctor, I feel like my legs are mine again." That's the power of this overlooked vitamin, and the research confirms it. A massive meta-analysis of more than 60,000 older adults showed that taking 800 to 1,000 IU of vitamin D every day reduced the risk of falls by up to 15%. That may not sound dramatic, but think about it. For every 17 seniors who take it, one major fall is prevented. And those falls aren't small accidents. They're broken hips, shattered independence, and in too many cases, the beginning of a slow decline. Vitamin D doesn't just add numbers to your lab results. It prevents life-changing events. But there's more. In a clinical trial, older women who took 4,000 IU of vitamin D daily for just 4 months saw improvements inside their muscles. Their fast twitch fibers grew larger, stronger, and more responsive. This means vitamin D isn't just about protecting bones. It's about directly rewiring and revitalizing muscle. Imagine going from struggling to stand up to pushing yourself out of a chair with steady power again. That's not imagination. That's what vitamin D can do. So why are seniors so deficient in something so vital? Part of the answer lies in the skin. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Add to that the fact that many older adults spend less time outdoors, either because of mobility issues or fear of skin damage, and you have a recipe for widespread deficiency. Even those who do go outside may wear sunscreen that blocks vitamin D production. And the result? Silent depletion that robs the legs of strength year after year. The good news is that the solution is simple. A blood test can tell you your levels, And for most seniors, a daily dose of 800 to 1,000 IU of vitamin D3 is enough to restore strength, especially when paired with calcium. But here's the catch. More is not always better. Some people think, if a little helps, a lot must be amazing. That's a dangerous mistake. High-dose bolus supplements, the kind where you take tens of thousands of units once a month, have been linked to worse outcomes, even more falls. The body works best with steady daily doses, just like it was designed to get from the sun. So, let's get practical. You can boost vitamin D naturally with 15 to 20 minutes of sun exposure on your arms and legs a few times a week. Foods like salmon, mackerel, sardines, egg yolks, and fortified dairy help too. But for most seniors, supplements are the most reliable way. Think of it as giving your legs their daily fuel. Without it, you're running on empty. Now picture this. Instead of hesitating at the top of the stairs, you step down with confidence. Instead of fearing that one bad fall will send you to the hospital, you trust your body to catch you. Instead of waking in the night with aching legs, you rest peacefully knowing your muscles and bones are being fortified every single day. That peace of mind is worth far more than the few seconds it takes to swallow a vitamin D capsule. And here's the final thought. We began this journey with cramps and fear. Seniors jolted awake in the night, terrified of losing independence. But by adding B12 to fire the nerves, magnesium to calm the muscles, and vitamin D to power strength and balance, you can rewrite that story. You can move through life not in fear of the next cramp or the next fall, but with the confidence to live fully on your own terms. So stay with me, because as powerful as these 3 vitamins are, there's still one more piece to this puzzle. Something not found in a pill, but in the habits you bring to your evenings. And in our next video, I'll reveal 5 nighttime mistakes that silently trigger cramps and make your legs weaker. For now, let's close with the most important message. Weak legs and painful cramps are not your destiny. With the right nutrients, your best steps may still be ahead of you. So let's bring this all together. We started with that terrifying moment, being jolted awake in the dead of night, your leg twisted in agony, wondering if you'll ever walk steady again. And now you know that it doesn't have to be this way. Weak legs, painful cramps, restless nights, they are not the price of aging. They are signals, warnings that your body is missing the very nutrients designed to keep you strong. Vitamin B12 keeps the nerves firing so your legs respond when you need them most. Magnesium calms the muscles so they don't seize up and rob you of sleep. And vitamin D, the true game changer, powers your strength, fuels your balance, and decides whether you stay on your feet or risk a devastating fall. Together, they are not just vitamins. They are the foundation for independence, confidence, and the freedom to keep living life on your terms. Now, I want you to imagine 3 months from today. Will you still be waking up in pain, afraid to take that next step? Or will you be moving with ease, walking steady, and sleeping through the night without fear? The choice begins now. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button. It helps others just like you discover the relief they've been searching for. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because in the next video I'll reveal 5 nighttime habits that secretly trigger cramps and weaken your legs. You don't want to miss it. Until then, stay strong, stay steady, and remember, your best steps are still ahead.